Peace and many bright blessings, guys. It's your Queen of Spades coming at you today. So I thought we would get into some hot foot powder updates. Another episode of my hot foot powder diaries. So I wanted to, it's been a minute since I have updated you guys on some of my results. And, so it's time to definitely talk about a couple of different updates. So the last time I used my hot foot powder was probably right before I moved. And there was this first situation, which was management at some point, maybe about, I'm thinking 5 years into me living at this apartment complex, management started to switch over. And the new management was doing weird stuff. They were starting to have it where basically they could come every few days to people's apartments and call themselves inspecting. And they're coming and they're looking at the fire alarm systems and, checking this electronic, checking that. They're looking at filters and everything like that. But then they're coming back a week or so later and, they're we're here to inspect again, and see if anybody's filter needs replacing and this, that, and the other. And I'm after a while of that happening like that, where they're coming back to back to back, I'm just thinking to myself, it's gotta be illegal for you to just kind of impose on people like this, come into their apartments out the blue like this, claiming to inspect, and you're coming every few days to a week, maybe every 2 weeks sometimes. But, it just was crazy. You're not coming once a month, you're coming every 1 to 2 weeks. Sometimes within a couple of days. And I had never seen anything like that before. I'm this has got to be illegal because you just checked everything just a few days ago. And it was becoming more and more of, an inconvenience and a nuisance for me, because I'm why do you need to keep coming to this apartment? Ain't that much checking things out in the world. It's just really crazy to me. You've seen all you need to see. This apartment ain't that big, so what more do you need to see here, It was crazy, at some point, I think the very last time they came, she was looking at everything with great detail. And, I had something down at a doorway or whatever, the porch doorway or whatever. And she's what is all that? And I was oh, that's just dirt from our shoes. And she's do you sweep it up? I'm every day. It just, we go outside, we come back, more dirt, so we just keep sweeping every day. And she she stood there and looked at it for a minute that don't look like it's just dirt. And I could see her wheels turning, but she couldn't really combat what I was saying because, yeah, okay, just making sure everything's yeah, she couldn't really combat what I was saying because how do you know it's not dirt? So, so she just kind of had like this kind of look, like she stood there for a minute, like looking at it, like she was trying to decide what to say next, which was kind of funny to me because she couldn't really say anything. And then at some point, you know, they did what they did, and you know, they left out. And you know, she noticed like, you know, like a I don't know, she noticed like some graininess, like, you know, at the kind of like the threshold of my front door. And she was like, you know, what's this? I was like, oh, you know, I put down spices and things like that. You know, I heard that cinnamon keeps ants away, and, you know, I have a couple of other things down there to keep away other types of, you know, bugs or anything like that. And she's like, have you been seeing bugs? Because you need to call pest control. And I'm like, I mean, you just saw inside my apartment, I have no bugs. And I think it's because of what I put down, you know, at my door to keep them out. But I have seen some at the front, you know, of the complex by the dumpster. And so I'm determined for them not to feel comfortable coming into my place. And so she didn't really say anything. She stood there and she looked for a minute. You could tell she started feeling a bit uncomfortable. And so she just kind of left as is, and she was like, okay, well, we'll be back soon. We'll send out a letter and let everyone know when we're coming back. I'm like, all right, you have a wonderful day. And I'm thinking to myself, you most certainly will not be back, because I just made that fresh batch of hot foot powder. And, you know, lined my doorway with it and put it where I felt like, you know, you would step coming into my place. And so you definitely will not be back. And I had like just made a fresh batch because they kept coming back so often. And I was like, this is an annoyance I'm not going to keep dealing with, because like, why? I just didn't understand the switch up. It went from management almost never coming to our apartments to now this new management is coming like every, you know, few days to a week or so. And that just was not sitting well with me. So I definitely put some out at my front door with the intentions, like, stay the hell away from my place. Like, I think that you've come here and visited with me enough. Like, it's time for you to get some business about yourself and find something else to do. Because whatever you're looking for, I guarantee you're not going to find it here. It was just too much. Like, and then I have to stop what I'm doing to entertain you coming to inspect my house. Like, you don't need to keep doing this every few days. I guarantee whatever you saw days ago is the same thing you're going to see this time. Like, you know, it just was crazy. And then you've done everything, like checked all the, you know, the monitors, the wiring of everything. You've changed filters. You've done what you needed to. Why do you keep having to come back? So that was getting annoying to me. So I was like really just testing this out. Like, I want to see if this works on, you know, these management people. If I put the intentions to stay away from my place because like now you're overdoing it, like you dragging this. If I put the intentions out there, let's see, you know, what effect this hot foot powder will have on them. And sure enough, when they left, I put a little bit more down, you know, because she was standing like kind of like right in front of my doorway threshold outside talking to me right before they left. And so I put some down, where, they had walked also to, basically enhance and, reaffirm that stay away, energy. So literally, guys, like after that, I never saw management or maintenance ever again. Like for the rest of my time at that apartment complex, I never saw them again. They never came to my apartment again. They went to everyone else's apartment and inspected their apartment, but they never ever came back to my apartment ever again. And I was there probably about 3 or 4 more years, and they never came back to my place again, ever. So that was a testimony to, just how potent and powerful that powder really is. Because I'm like, wow, when I say they never came back, they never even came back to as much as like, say, here, we know you need another filter. It's been a month or two. Here's your new filter. Like if I needed a new filter after, the end of that month, then I would have to reach out to them. I would have to go and pick one up from them, or maintenance would drop it off to me then. But they never just came back to my house, to my apartment ever again, as long as I was there, for the remainder of me being there. And that was like, wow, because they still was going to everybody else's apartment, unfortunately, but they never came to mine. So that was just one situation. Then the second situation was, at some point they hired on this maintenance guy, and I had seen lots of different guys, maintenance guys, come and go out there, and most of them were actually pretty nice, never really had any real issues or problems. But at some point they hired on this new maintenance guy, and yeah, he was a real weird one for sure. And I was like, when I saw him, like, you could just tell from his energy there, that he just wasn't right. You could just feel it just wasn't something right about him. So then I really never really called for maintenance unless I absolutely needed them to come. And you could request which of the 2 or 3 maintenance people you would prefer to come. And so it never was him for me, because he just moved in such a weird way. So at some point, I'm in my house, just basically, moving about, doing little things here and there in my apartment. And I get this knock at the door, and it's this off maintenance guy, and I open the door and I'm like, hello. He's like, maintenance. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? And literally, after I open the door, he just really just comes on in. He doesn't say anything else. He doesn't answer why he's there. He just comes on in. And he goes to what you call the utility closet where the water heater is, and ultimately where they go and replace the filter or whatever. He went there, but he didn't have a replacement filter. He just kind of went in there, and he sat down with his box of tools and began doing something. So I'm like now I'm curious, because what are you doing here exactly? I didn't call you to come. and I have no work order for you to come. So exactly why are you here? So I went ahead and closed my door and I walked over to him. And, usually like maintenance people would come. I would ask, so, what seems to be the problem here, or what is it that you're fixing on, at this time? And every maintenance person before him never minded like answering my questions. They would be very nice about it. They would, oh, I'm just here to fix this or replace that. And, if you have any problems with this in the near future, you can always call us back, or, just very, nice and courteous about answering my questions. And so with him, I go up to him and I'm like, so, what seems to be the issue here? Like, what is it that you're working on? And it's like crickets. And I'm like standing there actually like waiting for him to respond, and he doesn't respond. So I'm like, what is it that you're working on? Were you sent here? Did the front office say that you needed to fix something here? Because I'm like thinking, like, does he have the wrong apartment or something? Because, like, why are you here? He's not answering my questions. He's like, I'm standing right next to him and he's completely ignoring me. So I'm like, does he not speak English? I don't know what his issue is. So I'm feeling a little frustrated, but I'm not getting angry because maybe he doesn't speak English. Or, maybe he's just being dumb as hell in this moment towards me. And if that's the case, that doesn't fly too well with me. But I'm still not being, angry or aggressive at this time. I'm just trying to figure out what the hell he's doing in my apartment. Like, why are you here? And so at some point, I leave from him and I go and call my dad. And I'm like, yeah, this like asshole maintenance guy is here. Like, I'm asking him, like, what is he doing here? Like, what is he here to do? Like, is there a work order? Because there is no work order that, we have like a portal where you can see like the work orders. And I don't have any from my apartment. And I definitely didn't call them to come and do or fix anything. So I'm like, why are you here? So I'm telling my dad about this, and he's like, okay, just calm down, don't really say anything to him or whatever. I'm handling something at the moment, but I should be on my way in a little bit. I'll come by there and I'll see what he's doing. I'm like, okay. So I get off the phone with my dad and I go back over to him and I'm like, so what are you fixing on at this moment? Like, what are you working on? And because he's got these tools laid out and he's facing my water heater and the thing is working just fine. Like, what are you doing exactly? And so at some point, he looks back at me, still doesn't respond, and he gets up and he leaves out the apartment. So I'm like, wow, like, do you think that you can just like remain in here? Like, just like, because basically the look back at me was like, leave me alone. Like, why are you bothering me? Sir, you're in my goddamn apartment. Like, why are you bothering me? Like, you could get the hell on, just crazy. Like, I'm inconveniencing him. Like, why the hell are you here to begin with? Just crazy. So, it just was crazy. I was like, wow, he really like ignored the hell out of me. And then left my apartment. Like, I don't have to answer you. Like, I'm like, wow. So after about 15 minutes, because he was like gone for like 15, 20 minutes. And I'm like, he just really just left up out of here. So I didn't think he was coming back. So I went ahead and locked my front door. And then when I went into that area that he was sitting in, he kind of left. He closed the utility door, but he left his tools sitting on the floor by the utility door, and I didn't notice that till after the fact. So I'm like, why did he mean to leave these? Like, is he planning to come back to get them? Or so maybe about 20, 25 minutes later, I'm now starting to like cook and stuff. And then I hear the doot, doot, doot at the door. Maintenance. So clearly you can speak English. And clearly you do understand English too. But you think you're going to sit here and play in my face. So I open the door and I'm like, hello. He just walks past me and goes back to the utility closet area and proceeds to like sit down there like and picking up different tools like with his flashlight, like he's working on something. I'm trying to call the front office. Nobody's answering the damn phone. So it's just really crazy. Like, I'm getting irritated by the minute because I'm like, who does this? Like, you know, like I don't never just come to somebody's house and just like act like this towards them. Like they not sitting here paying the bills and the rent in this place. Like, so I'm starting to get irritated and, I'm like, wow, like at some point before he left out that first time, I asked him like, do you have an attitude with me? Like asking you questions? You got a problem with me asking you questions? And then that's when he jumped up and left out. So now he's back and he's silent and he's working on God knows what because there's no work order and there's nothing wrong. Like there's nothing that needs to be fixed. So now he's back. I go to my room and I call my dad again and I'm like, he left out, but now he's back. And he's just being a real weirdo. Like I thought he couldn't like, speak or understand English, but he clearly can because he said maintenance. And he's just really literally ignoring me. Like, and I know he can understand what I'm saying. So my dad's like, don't say anything to him. I'm on the way to you. I will handle it when I get there. I'm like, okay. So I'm like extremely frustrated because this guy has been here for like maybe like an hour and a half. And he's sitting in the same position, like picking up a different tool here and there with his flashlight and like pretending to fix something that's not broken. Like, dude really like just randomly picked my apartment and said, you know what, I'm gonna crash here for the rest of my shift. And I'm going to just pretend to be doing something she ain't going to know. And, that's going to keep them from calling on me to do anything else because I'm in an apartment such and such, helping to fix a water heater that's not broken. Yeah, but they don't know, And I'm like, wow, like he really just used my apartment to escape from his job. Because, like, why are you here? Like, there's no other reason that you should be here. So I started getting frustrated because, like, you're holding me and my apartment hostage. I don't want you here. Like, so you really need to get the hell on. And at some point, like, with him not saying why he's there, and I'm, like, watching him, you're not fixing anything. Like, you're pretending to fix something. So at some point, I walked up to him and, like, I couldn't wait for my dad. I walked up to him and I was like, yeah, you gotta go. You gotta go now. Right now. Yeah, I got a license to carry and I got weapons on me. And so I need you to get the hell on right away. Because in a few seconds, I'm going to start getting the capping. You got to go. 10, 9, 8, 7. By that point, he starts like packing up his tools and stuff. Yeah, get the hell on out right away. 7, 6, 5. Now he's like hurrying up and walking towards the door. Yeah, keep it moving. 3, 2. So now he's outside of the door and he's like mumbling words under his breath. And I'm like, yeah, fuck you too. Like, you can get the hell on, because like, why were you here to begin with? Like, did you really think I was just gonna let you sit here for hours at a time pretending to do work? Like, crazy. And then you got nerve to be mad at me because I'm asking any regular question that I would ask any maintenance guy or anybody coming to my apartment. Like, what the hell are you doing here? Why are you coming here? Like, as the renter, I deserve an answer. And I know that. And so, like, I don't know who you're used to dealing with, but like, you're a whole weirdo. Like, you gotta go. Like, and you can tell the front office that I told you so. Like, and then they can deal with me. And I can deal with them, because like, I'm not gonna, hell no. Like, that was insane. Like, that was on some weirdo type shit. Like, why are you here? Like, holding my apartment hostage. I can't cook. I can't be comfortably walking around my apartment because you're here pretending to do work that's not needing to be done. So that was like some weird stuff to me. And then the fact that he walked out with such an attitude, I felt the need when I was like, yeah, F you too. I was like, and don't ever come back to my apartment again. And then I grabbed my hot foot powder and I placed it outside of my door where I saw him walking. So basically in his footsteps. And my dad came and he was like, yeah, where's the guy at? I was like, oh, he's gone. And my dad's like, where did he go? I thought you said he wasn't leaving. I was like, well, he wasn't until I told him I had a license to carry and I had weaponry and that he basically needed to get gone before I got to capping. And so he was like, what? Why would you do, like, don't you, like, what if he would have hit you? Like, don't you understand? A man is like a little stronger than a woman. I was like, yeah, I mean, that's true. I get it. But I had stuff on me just in case it went, to that extent, just in case it went there. But, he would have had a hard day if he would have tried to lay hands on me, because he wouldn't have been walking out. He would have been carried out at that point on a stretcher. So, and I'm not saying I'm the strongest, person in the world, but at the same time, like, I mean, I'm not an easy contender either. So, he's like, you should not have done that. You should have just waited. I'm like, well, I get it. But he had to go. He had to get the hell up out of my apartment. And so at some point, my dad took me to the office and I made a complaint about him. And they were just basically like, okay, thank you for telling us. We'll definitely take note of that, this, that, and the other. So I'm leaving and I head back to my apartment building and I see the other maintenance guy's cart outside of the apartment building that I live in. And this maintenance guy is actually kind of nice. And so I was asking him, do you have time to come and check, my water heater? Because the other maintenance guy was in here the other day. Nobody called him. Nobody put in a work order. But he just came to my apartment and started acting like he was fixing my water heater, doing God knows what. I don't know what the heck he was in there doing, but he was here for like an hour and a half pretending to work, not doing anything. And then he got mad when I asked him to leave. And I was like, he's really not right. Like something is really off with him. And yeah, I had to ask him to leave because, like, why are you here when there's no work order and nobody asked you to be here? And so he came in. He was like, yeah, a lot of other residents, like that guy's been here about a year. A lot of other residents were complaining about him too, but the office would never do anything about it. And I was like, wow, so other people complained about him too. And he was like, yeah, but the office, with them being short-staffed on maintenance people, they just never did anything about it. They had no intention to let him go. I was like, that's insane. So he's checking my water heater. He's like, yeah, everything looks fine. I don't know what he was doing in here, but everything looks fine. I'm like, okay. He's like, yeah, but that dude was like kind of crazy. Like, you know, he kind of like stayed to himself, but he acted like really like off his rocker. You know, like he would be short-tempered, short-fused. You know, he was like, I saw that he had an ankle monitor on, and he was like, so, you know, I didn't know like how things was going to end for him, but to be honest, I'm surprised that he got fired because there was so many complaints out on him. And he was like I looked him up. There was complaints on him from, like, he's got a string of complaints on him from previous jobs that he had too. And I was like, and then he had an ankle monitor on, like, no offense or anything like that, because everybody still like needs a job or whatever. But if this person got all this going on and then they walking around looking crazy, acting crazy, not speaking to folks, being disrespectful, coming into people's apartment, why would you keep someone like that hired on? Clearly they're short some marbles. Clearly. Like, either they gonna snap or somebody gonna snap on them and hurt them. Either way, like, why would you have someone like that working for your company? I started looking at them a type of way because they just was hiring on anybody. Like, I understand you're short-staffed and all of that, but like, why would you just hire anybody out here? Like, there's people with kids out here. I've got kids. Like they didn't care about that because they didn't live there. Crazy. But yeah, and then the maintenance guy was like, yeah, but I don't know what it was about yesterday. But when he went to clock out, they fired him. And I was like, really? He was like, yeah, they basically fired him, but he was like, it had to have been something like, I don't know what made them change their minds about him working there or whatever, but like, not only was he fired from this job, but he can't even, like, dude can't even move forward being a maintenance guy at any other company moving forward either. So like his career just upended. Like, like I was like in a state of shock because like I had threw that hot foot powder down and I felt like things shifted, like energetically in the universe. And I didn't really know what that meant or what that was, but like things shifted immediately for him. And yeah, whereas he was able to hold on to that job for like a year or so, like that day that, you know, I had that confrontation with him, he was fired and his career just done for. Like, he can't ever work as a maintenance man ever again. Like, where they do that at? Like, I've never seen anything like that happen before. I was like, wow, that was crazy. So yeah, that was unbelievable. You know, people lose their jobs, but to lose your career, like, wow, that's when I knew that my hot foot powder was like powerful as hell. Like, and I've continued to use it and continue to see amazing results. Like things that you can't even explain, really. You know? It's crazy. So I never saw that guy again. He was fired. And the maintenance men after him were, you know, like friendly and, you know, family-oriented type people. You don't have to be like the friendliest person in the world, but at least be respectful and at least understand that, you know, people are going to have questions, you know. I think he understood that, but I think that he felt that if he was silent, that he could intimidate me into being silent and just scared to continue to talk with him. Yeah, no, I'm not scared, but you'll be. Like, you'll get the hell out of my place, and I'll let you know, like, you're in immediate danger if you don't. So, but that was crazy. Those are two of my hot foot powder updates. And if you're interested in purchasing some, definitely either go onto my website and order some, or you can reach out to me personally through email to find out how to get some shipped to you. If you have used my hot foot powder before, I definitely want you to comment below and let me know your results, because I'm interested in knowing. And or if you've used other people's hot foot powders before and you've got a story to share, please let me know. Like, I love seeing y'all's comments on it. And yes, I look forward to hearing from you guys and speaking with you guys again very soon up in the next video. Yeah, and my site is www.joharislair.com. But all those links are in my description, as well as in my little link tree on the home page. You can go and look at all my links, my Cashapp, my Zelle, all of that's there. And but you can definitely email me or comment down below if you have any questions. I definitely look forward to speaking with you guys again very soon, and I hope to see you all in the next video. Peace and blessed be.